Hi, my name's Dr. Alison Martin and I work in modern languages at the University of Reading, and today I'd like to talk you through studying German at Reading. Of course, what's really important is that you study the language, and you'll be studying the language throughout the 4 years that you're with us. In the first year, you'll be building up language skills in Year 1 and Year 2 from intermediate or advanced level. In advanced German, you would get 3 hours per week focusing on all 4 skills. That's reading, writing, listening and speaking. On your year abroad, you would be boosting your language skills, and when you come back in your final year, you would be applying your language skills to your language modules. But studying the culture is just as important to us. And you need to gain a deep understanding of modern German society as part of the degree course with us. You will develop crucial study skills in your first year, and you will encounter and apply academic concepts in the analysis of literature, films, language use and history. And you'll see that there's a clear line of progression between what you do in the first and second and final years, and you will also see that there's a wide choice of research-led option modules. In your first year, you will need to take a core module with us. That's called Icons of Modern Germany. And it's essentially about German history and society in the East and West after 1945. You will, of course, also be doing advanced German language or intermediate German, as we just mentioned. And you have a choice of optional modules, one of which is texts and genres. Another is Introduction to Linguistics. There's a course on European cinema. Or you could take a module on European history pre and post 1945. Moving on to your second year, there again you will have a core module, that's a language module, where you'll be taught 3 hours per week of language. And then there are a number of optional modules which you can choose between. Some of our current optional modules include, for example, German National Cinema. This is based on the fact that Reading holds the UK's largest academic collection of German film. There's a course on E.T.A. Hoffmann. He's a 19th century German writer who was particularly interested in the Gothic and the fantastical. We have a course on Austrian literature. We have one on lexicology and word formation. We have a seminar on society, thought and art in modern Europe. And we have a seminar on the European fantastic and Gothic fiction. So that was your second year. On your third year, you would be going abroad to Germany or Austria. You could go to study, for example. You could go to work in a company, or you could go to teach in a school. So you see, we've got quite a wide range of destinations where you could go if you wanted to study at our Erasmus partner universities in Germany and Austria. Quite a few of them are in Western and Southern Germany, but also over in the East we've got Potsdam. But you don't necessarily have to spend your year abroad studying. You could also, if you wanted to, spend half your year working. In the past, our students have worked for the Deutsche Bank, they've worked for Airbus, they've worked for BMW and for Bentley. We've also got strong links now with LKW Walter, which is a logistics company based in Vienna. So you could go and work for half a year, do a work placement if you wanted to, and gain valuable work experience. Or, depending on what you study, you could potentially also go and teach abroad in a primary school or a secondary school or an evening school even in Germany or Austria, and that you could also do for half or a full year. In your final year, you will again have a core module. That will be a language module, where again you will have 3 hours a week of teaching, and there we place greater focus on applying skills, particularly to translation from English to German and from German to English. And there are again a number of optional modules which you could take. One of them, for example, looks at Berlin in German literature and is called Mobility and the Metropolis. There's one on migration in Germany. There's one on war on screen. That's about the Second World War in German film. There's a course which is particularly tailored to students who are doing German and management or business or economics, and that's German for business and management purposes. There are seminars which are run across the department, so European case studies would be one, run by European Studies, world cinema, the 19th century European novel, or language and power. Perhaps I can say something about the learning environment which we have to offer here in Reading. So in the National Student Survey in 2015, in German we had 100% student satisfaction. So that means that our students of German were satisfied across the board with everything that we taught them. Our language classes are taught in German by native speakers, and in fact the majority of staff are native speakers of German. We have one native speaker of English who is there specifically to teach from translation from German to English. We have the Centre for East German Studies, and that also holds a very wide-ranging German film collection. And indeed, the varied research specialisms of our staff underpin the range of aspects offered in optional modules, whether it's film or literature, linguistics, history, culture. We also offer a number of guest talks, author readings, film screenings, and trips to theatres or exhibitions throughout the course of the academic year. And we also have a German society which is student-led and student-run, and they also hold a number of events in the course of the academic year. You might be wondering what you can do with a degree in German, and I'd like to stress that employability is absolutely key to what we do here, and we are very proud to say that we have a 90% progression success rate of modern languages graduates after 6 months. And the destinations are themselves also very wide-ranging. They include publishing, marketing, teaching, further studies, so going on to do a master's or a PhD, international organisations and companies. And just to give you a few examples of what our students have done in the past, we had somebody who finished in 2010 who now works for Oxford University Press, marketing modern languages learning material. We have 2 alumni who left us in 2011 who now teach at secondary schools. Somebody who left us in 2012 having done German and management is now a team leader at Lego in Slough. In 2013, somebody who completed her degree with us went back to Berlin to work as an English teacher. We also had somebody from that year group who stayed with us to do a PhD, and we had somebody else who went on to work at the European Commission in Brussels. More recently, somebody who left us in 2015 is now curator of the BBC Food website, and we had somebody who then went on to do an MA in Cardiff, and who's now interested in working for a European branch of the civil service. So you see that with a degree in German, you are well prepared for a career once you graduate, and you've got all sorts of possibilities open to you.